I often will tell my students in a class, especially an intro class, assume that every position that I hold is essentially false. Let's play with it, and let's assume that Plato we're reading, that everything he says is false. But let's try to understand why he's saying it and what are his presuppositions, and to use that as an example of how we can get at our own presuppositions, both of thinking and also of feeling. You know? I say sometimes, maybe there is no truth in the capital T sense, you know, but maybe the best we can have is the most viable account of our own nature and our own development without purporting to have absolute truth about anything. And I feel that way very strongly. Yeah, the Zen tradition, there's a beautiful, in fact, it's the name of one of the great Zen books called Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind, and Shinryo Suzuki is the guy's name that presents that work. And for him, in any situation, whether it's a new book or a new situation or a new kind of scene of nature that you're going to look to, always comport yourself as if you have a beginner's mind, stripping away biases, presuppositions, if you like, and try to look at it with a fresh mind as a young child might. You know, most of us, we try to get, we all have to deal with existential angst, anxiety of one sort or another. Most of us retreat to a box, or we learn to live in a box as young children and stay in a box. And maybe the walls are a little thick or higher or whatever, depending upon our own personal history. But most of us stay in a box and think we have the absolute truth about this, that, and the other thing. But if people begin to, you know, kind of lift the lid on the box a little bit and kind of stick their head up a little bit and look out a little bit at first, you can't maybe throw out the whole, you can't jump completely out of the box all at once, but maybe you can pop up here and there, you know, and look at this presupposition. I was scared, jump back, you know, and then look at another one, you know, and jump back in the box, you know, like a jack in the box going up and down, you know. And then maybe once in a while, after a while, if one has done that, and look maybe individually at this presupposition and that presupposition, and begin to critically assess them, and maybe begin to critically reject them, in time one can critically reject the whole of a given outlook. But maybe to do that, one has to simultaneously be building a new critical outlook, kind of piece by piece. You know, I don't think maybe to jump completely out of a given box and just be free floating in mental space with no orientation whatsoever for years and years and years. Maybe that's the invitation to madness. You know.